The moon is a reflection of Earth. When I sleep, they download mine and their reactions for future use. They, who, we up there, are trying to crack a code. The moon is a reflection of Earth. That's what's holding up the operation. They are missing one key hidden ingredient in the human psyche. Our avatars are trying to find it, hidden in the humans' brains and DNA. There's a firewall we're trying to crack. Those humans are programs. AI is a virus, not intelligence. This is a simulation. The moon is a reflection of Earth. I just wanted to show this raindrop that landed on my phone screen. And if you notice, the colors fluctuating through it. And that reminds me of the videos I take of the stars and their color fluctuation, their frequency fluctuation. So I just thought that was really cool. You know, and they're up there and in some sort of plasma screen. That's pretty trippy, the what's going on there with the those. Wow, look at that. Whoa. That's pretty cool. And my drop's gone, but yeah. You know, when I saw that on there, I was like, oh, that's cool. I gotta find a white screen. So I Googled white screen, and there's actually white screen for 10 hours. That's weird too. Anyway, yeah, I mean, those stars, you know, the movements up there. Back how they change color, that drop reminded me of that. You know, and they use these, see all those hexagons on there? That's from a computer monitor. That's how you get this hexagon and these stars, which are, I think, just diamonds. I'll show you guys this while I'm at it. I'm gonna plug this out, I'm sorry. So this, I spray painted this record. Just splattered it a little bit. And that's our stars. That's them moving. And each night they're a little different, and that's the different track. So every night the stars sing us a different song. And I think the stars are what give us our music. You know, a lot of these record players, and this is where they got the idea for this, from the stars and how it all works. But these tips are, the really good ones are diamond tipped. And, you know, these stars are most likely diamond. And that's how it all kind of works. And I think that's where we got our music. That's where we get those tones and frequencies for music. The stars making frequencies and changing every night a little bit, different track. And it's like what song was playing when you were born, you know, what frequency was playing when you were born. That's your frequency, that's your sign. They just, you know, misdirect us with telling us we're a Taurus or blah blah blah. Well, it's all about frequency, what vibration you're in. So anyway, yeah, cool. Just a little bit about the stars. I wanted to talk just a little bit about our dome. I've talked about before in other videos how the stars are projected through our hexagonal dome, and that's how you get that hexagon. It pixelates through the dome. And every star picture I've taken has proven that. I want to talk about the dome and being a hexagonal design. You're going to have these hexagons that are going to, you know, fit together. And as it forms that shape, each of these are going to be at a slightly different angle, you know, to create that dome. And all those different angles are going to create just a little bit different function. And that brings me to satellites. You know, satellites are a hoax, but so are balloon satellites. You know, they float those around there, so you know, us people who figure out that space is being faked to, you know, some sort of capacity, and there's no satellites up there. We figure that out. We figure, you know, they figure we stop because, oh, they're using balloons. They're not using balloons. They're using the dome. Each one of these sections fit together, just angled, just slightly different. When they're shooting their signals up onto a specific one with a specific angle, they know where that signal is going to hit back down on Earth. And so, in an essence, each of these hexagonal sections are quote-unquote satellites. This is what they use. And, you know, it comes down to geometry, knowing exactly which one, you know, they know the layout and they know exactly which one is going to give them that perfect angle. You know, maybe they rent these out, you know, these sections, or you know, elite companies can buy a section. I don't know. But yeah, they use the dome, and, you know, how it would work out is kind of like when you play pool and you have your cue ball and you have the ball you need to hit and you have your stick and everything needs to line up just perfect. You gotta get that exact geometrical angle for it to hit a certain place, and if they know exactly which one to use, they can bounce that signal back down. So yeah, the dome is our satellites, quote unquote. You know, balloon satellites, that's a hoax too, that's misdirection. Just like the constellations, that's misdirection. Because the stars are, you know, schematics, the way they're laid out. And when you connect the dots differently than, you know, Big Dipper and all that, it's computer code of some kind, some sort of code. You know, and these stars are in plasma. I'm not 100% on this, but I think, you know, they might be diamond to some capacity. And, you know, being diamond and they rotate and they go through different cycles, it's kind of like the stylus on a record player, like the needle that plays on the record. A lot of the needles are diamond tipped, and that's for resonance and sound. And, you know, so if these are diamond in nature, they might work like that, and, you know, all of them creating a certain sound and harmony that actually sends frequencies to us. You know, that would be our astrology and our astronomy, and it would affect us electrically, you know, and, you know, that would be by design to keep humans harmonized correctly for their function and the energy system we live in, because we are part of the electrical system. You know, we're booster signals. We're a part of the electrical system. We're essential. That's why we were designed. That's why we're called hue men. Hue, color. So that's just my take on, you know, some stuff about the stars and the hexagonal dome and the sections being what we use for, you know, our quote-unquote satellites. They just know how to use the dome. Jets don't use liquid fuel. They use compressed air. And these turbines are designed to pull in air and compress it and combust it and use it as fuel.
From the crude oil well site through the refinery and transportation to the aircraft, extreme care is taken to preserve the quality of aviation fuel. Let's look at the different types of aviation fuel and their characteristics. There are two main types: jet fuel, which is used in turbine and jet engines, and aviation gasoline, avgas, which is used in piston engines. The flammability hazard of aviation fuels is evaluated by the flash point. That is, the temperature at which the fuel gives off sufficient vapors to form an ignitable mixture of fuel and air. Both avgas and jet fuel are flammable, avgas more so than jet fuel. If an ignition source is present and the fuel is at or above the flash point temperature, the vapor will flash. Any mixture of fuel and air that falls within the flammability ranges is explosive and will burn continuously once ignited. For fire to occur, each of these three components must be present: oxygen, heat, and fuel. Remove any one, and there can be no fire. How does this apply as we work around an aircraft being fueled? Well, we're in the open air, so oxygen is present. Fuel spills do occur. An ignition source, say a baggage truck, comes just a little too close.
Jets don't use liquid fuel. They use compressed air. And these turbines are designed to pull in air and compress it and combust it and use it as fuel.